if you are starting out, the most important thing that you can do to somebody is to bring the deal to the table and learn, really observe, put the time in. Yes, I can make the finishes list. Yeah, let me look at the contract. What else can I do over here? Yes, I will walk through. I will rearrange. I will, whatever that is, I did there. I learned a ton of it.
You're listening to the AZREIA Show. If you're looking for quality real estate investing information that you can trust, you've found it. Stay tuned and join the tens of thousands of members that have already benefited from AZREIA, your home for education, market information, support, and networking opportunities that will advance your real estate investing career.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're listening to this. Welcome to the AZREIA Show. I am Marcus Maloney, and we have our executive director and co-host, Mike Del Preet, with us. How you doing, Mike?
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
Mike needs his coffee. We're doing an early morning recording, so
Getting there.
He's getting there. Trust me, by mid conversation, he'll be on fire and ready to go. So today we have Andressa Guidelli with us, and she is the CEO of InvestHER. Okay, she has a strong background in construction. She has a strong background in short-term rentals, fix and flips, and right now she's investing in syndications. So we wanted to bring her on the show today to get a woman's perspective, and not just a woman's perspective, but an overall investor's perspective. So Andressa, how are you doing this morning?
I'm well, and I appreciate you guys waking up early to talk to me. I appreciate that. Well, I can promise you that you guys gonna have a lot of raw stories, and I'm here to share my mistakes and what I've learned and how we were able to grow not just a community but a successful company, so I can live life on my own terms.
Great, great, great. So you are Brazilian, correct?
Yes.
All right. So
don't use that against me.
Oh, no, definitely not. Definitely not. So how long you been here in the States?
I took the US in 2008. I came to just go to my master's degree, stay 1 year, but ended up, enrolling to the master's degree that led to 2 years staying here, met my ex-husband, build a family, build a business, and here I am today.
Okay. So you came to get your master's degree. What industry?
It was in communication. I'm a former journalist, and I did my MBA in Brazil. And it's MBA that I got here is professional business communication. So the goal was to go back to Brazil and work in multinational companies over there. So when I look back, and first of all, I didn't even know real estate, right?
Okay.
I came across a purple book during a meeting. I did not have sales experience, so I got a job at door-to-door sales. Okay. I don't know why I took an MBA and master's degree. I should have done door-to-doors only, and could have saved a ton of money there. But my manager at that time shared with me this purple book called Rich Dad Poor Dad, and that was the first time that I came across real estate. That was not on my vocabulary. I didn't know a thing about it. And then I was pissed. And I said, why don't we know about this? True. I thought only rich people were able to have multiple properties. Now you're telling me that if I work smart, if I understand the game here, I can also, an immigrant, right? My family lives there. An immigrant can build a portfolio, can build a legacy, break the cycle of 9 to 5 jobs. And that's how it shift completely. Open up a completely new world to me. And then we got educated and invest on our first property. And I remember the first property was our primary residence. Okay. And I can't tell you how much I overpay in construction. It was more than double what it should have been, but I don't know. I didn't know what I didn't know at that time. Right. But one thing I knew, the market, And I made an offer, got the property, and I pull a HELOC out. And one thing very, very not unique, but different, because I was new, right? I did not know that once you get a HELOC appraisal that is lower, that majority of people don't appeal that. Well, I appeal it, and I created my own report. Just with that, I raised my HELOC in $25,000 for a total of $68,000 that I was able to pull out right away. And then that rolled into my next deal. Okay. From there, went to one deal at the same, two deals at the same time, until 15 deals at the same time, new construction, commercial, short-term rental.
Okay. Slow down. Because you went from buying your single family construction to now multifamily syndication and ground up builds. Let's kind of fill in some of the gaps, because a lot of people, and this is one thing that I love to do is I love to talk to immigrants, right? Because my dad is from Central America, and they always talk about the opportunity here in the States. And a lot of times when you grow up here, you don't see all the opportunity around you, but then immigrants will come in and we'll just start working and get right to it, because it's like, wow, it's so much opportunity. Kind of speak to some of that opportunity that you had here in the States versus in Brazil.
I can tell you, I'll give you an example, right? And that's why I always say I have my ducks in the row. I'm 2 weeks ahead. My head thinks always 2 weeks ahead.
Yep.
At all. That's how it is. When I put an offer on the first primary property, I remember exactly when it was and what was happening that day. That was Memorial Day weekend, and it was a Saturday. And I called my realtor and I said, I really need to see this property like today. I know the numbers. I know everything. You know what he's told me? He said, I'm so sorry. I'm going to the shore.
Yeah, it's vacation time. Yep.
And then I said to him, listen, Jack, I really appreciate working with you, and I would like to continue working with you. But here's the thing. I'm going to see this property today with or without you. So you let me know what time should I meet you there or not. But I'm guaranteeing you, I'm seeing this property today. And I just need 10 minutes inside this property to make my final decision and put an offer. And please start writing it, because I just need to define my final number. That's all I can tell you. And that was it. Me moving super quick. I was there on Saturday morning. Me moving super, super duper quick made the difference with me getting this property or not. And then later on, that property not just allowed me to start a brand new portfolio, but I held that property for years. It made me a ton of money with short-term rental. And then when I sold to the peak, like I sold for 3 times more the price in just a few years. It is just your way of being in the world when you have scarcity in other countries. And when you come to a country like this, where there's abundance everywhere that you go, you just need to be willing to do it.
Yep.
And no excuse. I can sit down here and tell you guys all the reasons why I shouldn't be where I am right now, but I just choose not to.
True. And you know what? That's the way it is in life. It's, when you see something, you want something and you need something, you have to go and get it. That's one. And like you said, no excuses. Don't, take the limits off of your thinking, take the limits off of what you're trying to do, and just get out there and do it. And then that was great what you told that realtor. It's like, hey, you know what? Go ahead, go to the beach. But I guarantee you, I'm going to get into this property, because I'm going to probably call the listing agent and say, hey, you know what? I need to get into this property. And now they'll get both sides. So, man, very key, some key things that you mentioned right there.
Yeah, but one thing he knew about me, right? I had my lending in place. I was qualified already. I already had everything. I was not just, let me shop around. So I don't want people to understand one thing. Don't waste people's time, right? The realtors, that's their job. The contractors and everybody that you have around you, wholesalers, title companies, all. I don't like when they waste my time, and I don't want to waste their time. So if you're just shopping around and getting your feet wet, understanding the market, let them know. Otherwise, it's just wrong way of building relationships. And this business is just a relationship business with houses attached to it, in my opinion.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's one of the things that we tell our sellers, because we do a lot of direct to seller marketing, is, you know what? Hey, we're willing to make an offer, but don't waste my time. And I don't want to waste your time. If you're serious about selling, we're serious about buying. But if you're not serious, just let us know up front. And then that way we can move on to the next person, because we don't want to waste your time, and vice versa. We respect time, and we don't want you to waste our time. So very, very key. So you did this property. Tell us about that construction, because you got this background in construction. So
yeah,
you're basically doing your on-the-job training. You're learning as you're going, right?
Indeed. My second deal, I partner was a firehouse.
Okay.
Not a firehouse as like firefighters. It was a house that got caught on fire. I had one choice: take one step, look around, and get out, because it was not safe. I knew that I did not have enough experience in order to tackle a project like that. So I went to a local REIA and I met a couple of people, and I have an investor there that we really built a great relationship. And I said, listen, I can bring a deal to the table and you bring the finance, and I want to watch you from like head to toe. What do you do? How do you do? Every single walkthrough, I want to be there with you. And it was not a 50-50 split at the end. I want to make sure people understand that. It was not. I think I was like 20 and he was the rest. I didn't care. I didn't care. I was paying to learn. And I learned how he negotiated the contract, how he managed the project, every single thing there. That was an investment for me.
Can you talk about that? Because I've dealt with that a lot, just in the wholesaling world. Someone wants to learn, some things we do, like, hey, you do upfront work, you bring a deal, we'll split it 50-50, we'll train you how to close the deal, the whole thing. So, but sometimes there's always that group of people that are like, oh, I could have made the whole assignment fee. They think differently after it's done. Right.
Of course.
So it's unfortunate, but explain the importance of what you did just for the education,
100%. And I think that people many times 50-50 is the easy way, right? Oh, let's do just 50-50. Wait a minute. I don't want people to discount the value of experience. It looked easy because this person had a ton of experience, a ton of contacts, right? The drywall guy did a great job. Therefore, the painter's job looked amazing.
Yeah.
Right. and all of that has a tremendous value. It's just not like the know-how. I highly recommend, if you are starting out, the most important thing that you can do to somebody is to bring the deal to the table and learn. Really observe, put the time in. Yes, I can make the finishes list. Yeah, let me look at the contract. What else can I do over here? Yes, I will walk through. I will rearrange. I will, whatever that is, I did there. I learned a ton of it. And then I bought the other 2 houses down the street and made my own comps, right? I don't need to eat the entire pie. I can eat several pieces of the pie in different pies, and that allowed me to really gain the knowledge. I did the same thing with a contractor this time when I wanted to learn about new construction. I was like, never done new construction. I would like to know more about it, but I want to build multiple at the same time, which is another layer, right? So I partner up with a contractor that has done multiple jobs. Again, I pay another course right there. That was a different split. I don't remember what was it, but it was, I had experience to bring to the table. I was not green.
These are 2 things that got me, if I just throw it in there. One, you said the paint looked good, right? For those out there that are newer, you know how many people you got to go through to find a good painter?
Yep.
Like just that experience, or the contractor. Oh, you came in, the job went well, it was easy. Yeah, you know how many contractors and painters over the years we had to find to build that relationship to get that right person to show up on time and do it right. So
Yeah.
that hit me, that hit home.
Right, even plumbers and electricians that don't cut each other's you know, what happened there? Oh, I needed to run my wire, dude, but hold on a second, there's a beam over there. Why you're cutting it?
or drywallers screwing drywall into the plumbing.
Or the second thing you said was pie. You know, of course, you said pie sparked my ears, but piece of the pie is better than no pie, is what my teacher would tell me, right? So, hey, man, get that piece, whatever it's putting a deal together, experienced or not, just you got your piece, you learned. Let's go get another one, you know?
Learning is a compound interest, right? Because then I went to my contractor to learn about new construction with experience in construction. I was not as green. And then I was like, okay, what else can I bring to the table? I am a natural integrator. I see things as bullet points. I can see the map. How can I organize this? Because it got bored. I got bored when I had to repeat the finishes list and repeat a couple of things. So I was like, okay, what process can I put in place over here so I don't waste my energy on something that I don't need to select a new paint color. I want to use the same. I don't care about it unless I have a custom property over $1 million. Then we're talking. Other than that, let's use the same. So that's how things start changing, and then I start bringing my natural abilities to the table as well.
So you mentioned integrator, and that's a key word. And kind of let's talk about that. Let's talk about the integrator and why, you know, visionaries need integrators, because a visionary, and this was kind of my problem, was you have all of these dreams and these goals and you're ambitious and everything like that, but you need that integrator to say, okay, well, like you said, we're going to do step 1, step 2, step 3, and you can put all of those visions into bullet points. Why is that? I know you guys listening like, okay, well, that's common sense, but it's not really all of that common, because when you're a visionary, you want to jump from one thing to the next thing to the next thing. Why is that integrator so important, Andressa?
And I just want to give reference to the folks there. I would recommend reading the book Traction first, and then Rocket Fuel a second, right? So you can understand more about the concepts. You can take a quick test to see where you were at, but you don't need to do the test in order to see if you're a visionary or integrator. Visionaries, as you mentioned, have great big ideas, many ideas, right? And they usually write in paragraphs, long paragraphs. That's how they write their emails. And then the integrators are more of the conversion of those ideas into specific actions, and is more bullet point. And there's always one integrator for every 4 visionaries. And it's not that one is better than the other, but you can have a partnership between 2 integrators or 2 visionaries. It really doesn't work that way. You got to have an integrator in your team if you're not one, in order to, number 1, filter the ideas. You got to have a lot of ideas, but can we execute all of them right now? How can we prioritize? What is our, like, this here, this is a diamond here. Let's go for that, and let's execute that portion. Many times, you know, the ideas, they just come and then they go. And I always say, listen, I believe that the universe whispered ideas in our ears. And if we don't take action, the universe, well, you didn't take it. So I'm going to whisper in somebody else's ear. So I always say, no, I got it. I got it. Right. And then go forward. But Liz Faircloth, it's my business partner, and she's a visionary. I am an integrator. And throughout our journey as partners, we really needed to understand what comes naturally to me, what comes naturally to her, Where are our roles within the company so we can respect that and we can leverage that instead of using it against each other and say, oh, why do you think that way? Or that doesn't, she works amazingly building relationships and has great ideas that we implemented in our company. And in my part, I filter it and organize it in a way that we can take the next steps moving forward.
Okay.
Okay.
And what Andressa is referring to is EOS, the Entrepreneurial Operating System, built through Traction. So if you guys are building a business, you definitely need to read Traction. One of my masterminds, that was what we had to do in order to be a member of the mastermind, had to read Traction and Rocket Fuel. And it provided so much clarity on who I am and what I could do, so very, very key. And you definitely need to have that integrator and visionary working together simultaneously. So you kind of glossed over the construction aspect of it, the new build aspect of it. We kind of took a left turn for a second. So why did you want to get into new construction, ground up construction? Was it just to challenge yourself because you're an integrator? It's like, okay, I need something new to try and chase, or what was it?
That's the visionary in me. I'm very weird visionary integrator pattern, right? Yep. But that's the visionary in me that I get very bored, right? So I was flipping houses in South Philadelphia. And for those of you, it's very dense. And then there's 1,500 square feet, 211, finished basement, either a roof deck. There's not much. So after a couple of houses, like 9, 10, I was like, okay, I'm bored already. Yeah. What else can I do here? What else can I learn? I am a all-time student. I have a student mentality and I like to learn new things. So the new construction, I really loved it because a lot of the work was done prior of going in and starting and finding the right people. You're talking a different language. We demolish an entire house that was existing and then build brand new properties in the land that was there. It's completely different, like pre-selling something, like the strategies. That was very exciting to me. And that's what I have done my entire life. And then after that, I was like, okay, what else? What else is out there? Right. So then I work with a commercial developer, good friend of mine, like tremendous knowledge within him. And I learned how to do commercial. And that's another animal. Okay. Talk about scope of work, the detail that goes around that. It's tremendous. And then we moved to syndication. Matt, Liz, and I, we have been working together for so many years. And we brought the last deal that we closed was five properties together, 20 million raise, 2 different states, syndication properties. So but then I again, right, I'm not in the project. I go where I am good at and then pass the ball to the other team members.
So were you and Liz in real estate together before your community, or how'd that all transpire?
Yes, Liz and I met. They were looking to invest. Matt and Liz were looking to invest in Philadelphia, and we met through Bigger Pockets. And they came down to Philly to look at a couple of our projects. And Liz and I started a mastermind together with other 5 women in different states, nothing else. And then we started doing projects together. And then during those projects that we were doing together, we started meeting in a monthly basis to support one another business. And we're like, where do other women go to get the support they need, right? Yep. If I raise my hand in certain communities, I get blamed or like they made me feel stupid about not knowing something, even though I had experience. That was the experience that I was facing. in person or virtual. That was it. So we were hesitant in raising our hands to really get the support that we need. So that's when we created the Real Estate InvestHER community. We started with a podcast where we interview successful women in real estate. Yesterday, actually, we celebrated our 5th year anniversary for our podcast, over 1 million downloads and in 42 countries. So it's been quite a journey.
Love it.
Great.
So we get the bells and whistles when we edit this.
Yeah. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Yeah. And you guys are doing quite a bit. And speak to those women now. Just take a moment, since you have this platform, and speak to those women that may be currently going through that. They're scared to raise their hand because construction and real estate is normally the good old boys club, and if you don't fit a certain demographic, they make you feel shunned or ostracized because you don't know something. So why don't you speak to that woman that's kind of going through that right now? What could you tell her to give her some words of encouragement?
Well, I can't tell you how many. I don't wake up every morning and say, "Oh my gosh, I'm a woman. What are I gonna do?" Right? No, I just go with it. But I take it from the humor side, right? Many times when I went to construction projects, they didn't know who I was. I got asked, "Oh, are you the realtor? Are you the designer? Are you the architect?" I was like, "No, I'm the one who writes your check."
Right.
That's who I am. And then we laugh about it, and then we raise the songs, and we continue walking through the property. But for the women that are listening, right? Women invest in real estate for different reasons. And I think many men too, right? But what we see on social media are like the checks, the cars, and that we can't relate much with that. So generational wealth, that's the reason why I do what I do. Success to me, it's not the amount of properties that I own, it's the amount of freedom that I have to do whatever I want to do with my life. And I think that we can't relate much when we hear from the same stereotype from stage what success should look like. Is the same perspective from same gender, same race, same age. And we start getting really tired of that. So we really created our own on stage. We claim our space on speaking on stages and reaching out to other women and supporting them to raise their hand despite what the other people are going to say or not. Yeah. How many times I was speaking at events that I was interrupted and main explained, and I had to really step in and say, hold on a second, what's going on over here? This would not have ever happened if there was a male standing here. You would not interrupt somebody, and you're not going to interrupt me. I earn it.
That's right.
Right? I earned this. Let me
tell you what I did.
Yeah, right? So I think that it's a journey, right? And we can all work together, but it's really a missed opportunity for all their investors and companies to not understand and speak the language of women. We really will pull the trigger. We will not procrastinate on making a decision if there's trust there and the process is clear. Yep. And women have been purchasing and stepping up of the plate tremendously, but there was not a platform or a community that they can feel safe to really get the support that they need. And that's why we created the community. We created meetups across the country in Canada. We have 60 locations right now. And we're coming to Arizona in 2023, May 18 and 19 for Investor Con. It's a conference. We rented the entire resort. It's a conference for women in real estate to get the support they need. And the theme this year is generational wealth. So we're going to be tackling all about it, right? Perfect. How can you set yourself up for the next generation for success, but also, come on, for God's sake, right? How can we also benefit from it now and live the life that we want to live?
Attention, all female investors. AZREIA is excited to announce our good friends are coming to town. Don't miss out on the InvestorCon event in Scottsdale, Arizona on May 18th and 19th. Join us for 2 days of networking, workshops, and keynote speeches from successful female investors. Attend InvestorCon and make valuable connections and gain the confidence you need to take your investing to the next level. Don't wait. Click on the link in the show notes and get more details and the best pricing for InvestorCon in Scottsdale, Arizona on May 18th and 19th, or visit AZREIA.org/calendar to secure your spot. We can't wait to see you there.
You know what I hear, Andressa? Just in that short spiel, I hear confidence, I hear boldness, and I hear success. And not success of the flashiness and everything like that, but success of, I knew that this was the route that I wanted to go into. I blazed the trail, even though I'm an immigrant, even though I'm a woman in a primarily male-dominated field, but I'm going to do this, and I'm not going to let anything stop me. So, kudos to you and the investor community for what you guys are doing, because you're definitely making strides, and you're giving other women the voice and the strength and the confidence to do this in this male-dominated field.
Yeah, absolutely. And we are all about, like, many people say, why you're against men? I was like, what are you talking about? Right. I work with men my entire life, and I really loved and enjoy it. I don't see that like competition, but I am claiming my space over here. Yes, I'm going to have a seat on this table, if you like it or not, and I would like you to embrace my perspective. Embrace a different perspective here. Women bring different perspectives, and I encourage all of you guys to have a couple of women and men in your group. I have men in my company and women, and I want different perspectives. I want different backgrounds. I want people that are not going to agree with me. That's the beauty of diversity, right?
Here at AZREIA, besides Marcus and I, it's all women. All my projects that are successful are led by women.
Why is that?
I don't know, but I'm just rolling with
integrators.
No, I know
integrators, because they can.
Yeah, everything you've been talking about, right? So another thing, if I could share a story, which, as a man in real estate, like, sometimes you just don't know what you know as well, right? So I always knew the perspective on women, and it really hit me because we have a women's group, and the women's group was going on, and Michaela runs our front desk, and she's like, hey, a guy's here, and he wants to join the group. Cool, I get it, right? So I was like, hey, man, it was like our second one we ever held. I'm like, come on, I was like, come on. He's like, I have nothing else to do. Why not? What's wrong with that? Why can't I go in? I'm like, I didn't know what really would say. I was like, hey, man, this is the women's group, for the women. And, he's like, well, how about I just like sit in the corner? And I was like, yo, that's even more creepy, man. I was like, you just gotta go, So he left. Then the next meeting happens. And then I hear the women talking about, like, I really feel safe coming to this meeting at AZREIA. And I was like, and it all just kind of sunk in and hit me, right? Like, hearing everyone just like being glad to be here, comfortable. And then that guy happened, and I was just like, wow, that's a problem, like, so yeah. It's amazing what you're doing for everybody. I love it.
Yeah. And I appreciate you both acknowledging, and it is what it is. I think that when there's resistance, and when you can either be part of the solution or part of the problem, and this is not a women's problem. This is a all of us problem. All we want is diversity, different perspectives, representation, so people can, if I cannot see it, I cannot dream about it, I cannot have it. I want other girls and teenagers to see women in construction, women on stage, women being successful. That's what my son sees it. Right. And I want other girls to say, oh, instead of being a teacher, nothing wrong with that. I actually want to be an investor, or I want to be whatever it is that, but if we don't see representation, they can't imagine, they can't dream about it. And that doesn't work anymore.
Well, you said something very key, like you said, when you met with the contractors, they said, what are you? Are you the realtor? Are you the designer? You know, are you the stager? They want to put you in this box and say, okay, these are the roles that women play in real estate. And you said, no, I'm the one that write the check. So immediately he was like, oh, okay, she's the boss.
I say that in a nice way with a smile on my face.
Yeah. But it got the point across, you know, that, hey, she's the boss. And in order for me to get paid, I need to listen to the boss. I don't care if it's a woman. I don't care if it's a Black person, Chinese person, you know, Indian, it doesn't matter. You know, let's work together as a team and let's get the project done. That way you can get paid, I can get paid, and someone can have a nice property to live in.
That's the goal. I always say, listen, my job here is to make your job easier. So how can we do that? Mm-hmm. That is my job. And you know, there's still a lot of stereotypes, right? I was changing the windows for my current primary house, and the rep asked me a question. She said, will your husband be present? I was like, wait a minute. What? Right. You know, English is not my first language, so maybe I misheard. I misheard you. Yep. Right. And I said, listen, I'm not following. What do you mean by that? First of all, you're assuming I have a husband. How about if I am gay? I'm not, but if I am, if I am, or if I'm a widow, or if I am single, or whatever that is. It's like, no, because, you know, for the decision making, it's like, I own this house. I have experience in construction. I can talk in windows. I can talk windows. You, honey, I can talk windows. Right. I can make a decision. Just like, unfortunately, I cannot book an appointment. I was like, whoa.
Oh, wow.
Really? Wow.
Because of that. And I was like, wow. So she's like, I understand what you're saying and I hear you. The policies and procedures over here is that the husband needs to be present. I was like, this is so archaic that it's like blows my mind. So we still have conversations and many conversations that we have with men and women, not just men. They're like, I don't know, why do you have this community? And I understand that because it's their lives, right? We don't see life as it is. We see life as we are.
As we see it. Yep.
Right. So if their experience was never, they never experienced any form of racism or discrimination or difficulties, they're going to say, this is a waste of time. I don't know why you're doing this. Right. But I know that we are on the right path by seeing the results of the women that they are building the life that they want with their partners, without their partners, independently of their partners, and making the moves. We see people saying, I raise my hand right now everywhere, and I really don't care what people say. I'm there to get the information that I need. So giving women that confidence to have those conversations and to really step, it's a proof to us that our initial mission to support women to live a financially free and balanced life is still valuable.
Wow, that's great. That's great. So wrapping up here, Andressa, tell us again, May 18th and 19th, what all are you guys going to be doing?
Yes, May 18 and 19 is Scottsdale, Arizona, the Omni Resort. We have a 2 full day experience. Sharon Lecter, co-author of Rich Dad Poor Dad, is going to be our keynote. And we have 20 sessions, over 7 keynotes over there to really focus on generational wealth, from setting up your kids to investing in Portugal internationally. We have an expert coming in to talk to us about it, and all asset protection. How can you really live the benefits of your hard work now while you're setting up the next generation? So I invite all of you to join us.
And what I would tell you ladies that's listening, not only you come, but bring your daughters as well. That way they can see women being empowered, that they can see women investors. Don't leave it up for just you to go and see, but bring your daughters. That way they can see those women that's really out here doing construction,
I have a quick story. So in 2022, one of our dear friends, Anna Kelly, she's very successful in real estate. She brought her daughter, her 15-year-old Alana. And Alana did not want to deal with any real estate thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But she went to the hotel, and then we saw her there. And the deal was like, okay, you stay for one session at least, and then you can go back to your room. And Alana stayed until the end.
Love it.
And then she came to me at the end, and she's like, hi, I want to introduce myself. I say, I know who you are, honey. And she's like, I gotta tell you, I really hated real estate, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know my mom, but I just needed to hear from other women and see you guys here. And I am guaranteeing you, I'm 15 now, but I am the next generation of InvestHERs. That's all I can tell you.
That's great.
So, you know, sometimes we tell our kids, do this, do that. And they're like, nah. But hearing from others, they might connect differently.
And sometimes that's all you need to do is just plant that seed. And as parents, that's what you do. You plant the seed, and someone else may have to come and water that seed. You can't be the planter and the water. You know, like they may hear something from you or Liz or someone else to where they say, wow, you know what? I really resonate with that. You know, so man, great. I'm really inspired. You know, this is a great podcast. So women, May 18th and 19th, Omni Resort, Scottsdale, Arizona. Be there.
Love it. Well,
thank you so much. You both. Appreciate the time.
Okay, so ladies, you all know what to do. Men, you know what to do. If you're inspired, you know, listen to Andrea's story. She got started, immigrant, came here for school, learned something completely different, went through different biases, different discrimination, but still overcame and still a successful investor. Man, make sure you support what they're doing. Make sure you support InvestHER. The foundations are the same. You know, it's real estate. The foundations are the same. So, Andres, we welcome you here to Scottsdale, Arizona. We will see you in May. Thank you so much, Marcus. Thank you. You're welcome.
Thanks for listening to the AZREIA Show with your hosts, Marcus Maloney and Mike Delpreet. We hope you enjoyed this episode. If you found this information valuable, head over to AZREIA.org and learn more about our community.